Hello again. Um, a lot of things have been happening recently in the general area I live in and work in, etc. And it's really interesting talking to people about what's going on. So we've these fantastic ads on, I think they're promoted by the HSE on the telly about looking after your mental health and talking and all this. And it's brilliant. It really is great. Like, it's lovely to see. And there's a fantastic ad announced over Christmas. So became my favourite ad over Christmas. I think it was a Walker's crisps ad. Um, but this lad turned up to the house, the party, and everyone was kind of going, "On your own again?" Yeah, and he was kind of didn't really fit in into the room, and he went into the kitchen, and his mate was there, and his mate was eating a bag of crisps, the Walker crisps. He goes, "How are you, mate?" And the first word out of his mouth was, "Yeah, I'm great, yeah." "Yeah, you couldn't be great in that jumper. How are you, really?" And I thought that was just perfect. Fair play, well done, Walkers. That is the stuff. Because I'd find you're going around and you're meeting people and you say, "How are you doing?" And autumn is that like an autopilot. I'm great, how are you? And you talk gibberish. Nothing ever comes out. And there's a huge amount of suicide. Huge amount of suicide. The last I checked, I think male suicide was 5 times more than female. Please correct me if that's wrong. But at the time I was doing the research into this, it was 5 times greater. I don't know if it's less or more now. And that's a fairly shocking statistic. Any suicide is horrific. It's really heartbreaking to think, and everyone's left with this feeling of not just the family, the close family left with what's behind all this. And this is not about shaming the person because they had their own pain, but it's about what's left behind for the people around the area. This idea of the last I was talking to him, or why didn't I say, or how did I not see? He seems such a nice fella, he seems so happy and all this. Everyone kind of blames themselves. But the thing is, like, we're not talking about mental health. We're talking about mental health. Nobody's really sitting down and speaking about mental health, about what's going on, because the stigma is still there. This idea somehow that if I say, "I'm not feeling great today," that somehow that paints me as, "That feels mad, he's nuts." I actually did an experiment in my job once there, probably about 2 years ago. The previous job, not this job. And I noticed, like, there's nothing in it. There's sick leave, there's annual leave, but there's nothing in it for mental health. And let's call it as it is, the HSE, the Health Service Executive, the biggest organisation in the country about our health, doesn't have anything about mental health on sick days, like a mental health day, which is fascinating to me. Struggle a little bit with. But anyway, I rang up my system and I said, "Yeah, I won't be in tomorrow. I'm taking a mental health day." And they were just, "What? What's a mental health day?" I said, "I'm not feeling right. I can't get my head around things. I just need a bit of time to myself. I can't focus on work. It's not very good for me. I'm taking a mental health day." And they just didn't know what to do. And I got my mental health day. Now, whether they put it down as annual leave, I never was taken off my annual leave, and I didn't know it was my sick leave. So, whether it's an unofficial secret, mental health day that don't argue, I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. But the point is, you can break your leg and go sick for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 indefinite, or surgeries, etc. It continues. You can get terminally sick. You get all these extra it escapes me what they're called now, but there are different insurances and covers and payments and stuff like that you can get to cover you while you're off. But if your mental health is affected, you're on your own. If you mention to your manager, I'm worried about my mental health, like not saying all managers, I know there are excellent managers out there, and again, this is going to be taken up as previous videos have been. It's going to be taken up wrong. I have no issue with that. Love you guys, brilliant. Take what I want, take what you want, leave the rest. But the thing is, my experience of management hasn't been fantastic, in fairness. So possibly there's a little bit of bias here, but I've gone to my managers and I've mentioned in times past, say, listen, I need time for my mental health, and they continue to email me and ask me when I'm going back to work. I need time for mental health. When you come back to work, I need an answer. I need time for mental health. When you want, and it's just, this is what's happening to me. Interestingly, it's also happening other lads that I'm still in contact with, which I find amazing, and other areas, I do talk at other areas in the health service executive and other areas. I'm not blaming, I'm not pointing fingers here, but the fact is, mental health is promoted to be taboo and to be stigmatized, because the biggest organisation in the country who promotes let's talk about our mental health has nothing in place when you need time for your mental health, except sick leave. So sick leave, really, it's not sick. You're not sick. Mental health is not a sickness. We all have mental health. We all have days when we just can't continue. We all have days when things get on top of us. We're humans. We're not robots. We're not machines. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. They think, I should be able to do this. That girl over there is able to do this, or that man can do that job 10 times faster than me. The reality is, you're not them. You're not that girl over there, and you're not them. They haven't lived your life. They haven't had your experience. They haven't had your pain. They haven't had your suffering. They don't know you. They know a version of you that they paint and picture and think that's who you are. And no matter how much you tell them, that's who they see. So the fact is, you're not seen a lot of the time. And interestingly, then, you're not seen by your manager as a person that can break their leg, can get a stomach flu, can get headaches, can have women problems, can just feel really sick, or these normal everyday medical things. But for some reason in society, in everywhere I've seen, we're not comfortable enough to talk about our mental health. And I have a lot of respect for a lad recently that I talked to fairly regularly. He contacted his manager and he straight out named it. I'm not comfortable what you're asking me to do. It's affecting my mental health. And I think if more of us had that courage and started shouting, our mental health needs to be valued. We can't be expected to be working flat out without breaks. We can't be expected to, put up with being bullied or harassed by certain managers. We can't be expected to, not have issues with our mental health and just pretend, because it's just going to get worse. So the point being, there's a lot of things happening. I've advertised, and again, this isn't an doesn't, but I've promoted myself a lot in books and stuff like that, and put my name out there to get clients from around July last year. And interestingly, following suicides or following significant events around the area, I hear back that people are looking for a therapist, and it's like, you don't know you need it until you need it. That's the thing. It's like, unless you're at that point, it seems that you're just at the suicide point, that you're kind of go, I need help now. It's like, well, if we talk about mental health, we'll never get there, and if I'm doing myself a business in the future, I'm delighted with that, because I would like people to sit there and be able to say comfortably, without stigma, without anyone judging them, to say, my head is wrecked. I've had awful thoughts. I've been feeling really depressed, really sad, really upset. I haven't been able to get out of bed for 3 days. This thing when you go home and you put the duvet over yourself and you just can't face the world? Yeah, we've all done it. You're not alone. So it's that piece of being able to talk about that, to say with someone openly, and not just that one person, more than one person. Because the reality here, lads, every single person you can see in a day has those problems. Even that smiling person over there that never does anything else, actually I'd be quite worried about that person who's always happy and smiling. That would be a red flag for me. But if you can finally feel comfortable to talk about how sad you feel, how down you feel, in an environment where you're just sitting in in a room with a cup of coffee with another mate. That will go a long way. But if anyone has any ideas why we don't talk about our mental health, I'd love to get a conversation going. So if you want to make a little comment underneath, we really kind of need to promote it, because it needs to stop. We have too many suicides. There's an epidemic in this country of suicides. So if there's a way we can stop it, let's do it. And I feel one of the 4 steps, maybe not the solution, maybe not the answer, because I don't have the answers, but I think maybe one of the 4 steps would be to stop judging people for feeling bad, because you felt bad yesterday, nobody judged you. I felt bad, nobody judged me. And if that feeling bad, you need to get support wherever you decide to get that support. Family, friends, colleagues, people you work with, or professionals. Please do that. Anyway, again, I hope this helped. Please comment or let me know if you liked the video or if you didn't like it or whatever. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.